I was in San Francisco not too long ago, and I happened to be speaking at an event. Somebody else is from San Francisco here. Yeah, I heard it. Okay, I'll tell this story to you. So I'm in San Francisco, and I'm giving a speech, and the guy before me happens to be the head of eHarmony, and you've seen him on TV, right? And I've noticed him, and he was giving a speech. I sat through the whole speech, but honestly, I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it because I got married back in a day where we didn't have Match and eHarmony, right? So I found my wife the traditional way. I worked with her, right, in my office. This is where you normally find your spouse these days, is at work. So that's how but anyway, I'm listening to him, and he's going through his thing. I'm not paying a whole lot of attention. He gets to the end, and he's giving me statistics, or giving all of us statistics on eHarmony. And he said they studied 20,000 marriages that had come through eHarmony, and they checked the divorce rate, and the divorce rate was 3.8%. And then I paid attention, because we all know that the divorce rate out in the general world is a bit higher, right? So that was interesting to me, that how the relationship has changed today, because of digital. Or think about how automated things are becoming. The poster child for this now is the self-driving car. And if you bought a new car lately, a lot of the cars are starting to have self-driving capabilities in them. Like my wife got a car, and if she changes lanes and she doesn't use the turn signal, then the car sees the stripe and it bumps the car, and it gives her, and so she has to actually use her turn signal now. And then if she gets close to another car, she gets too close, it automatically puts the brakes on, which is very disturbing to her because, she was used to being able to get up close behind a car. And so, but automation's changing a lot of things, in our lives, especially when we look at work and automating workflows. Workflows that used to have a lot of paper and a lot of human being involved in them, right? But now flows are automated in so many ways. Or think about the difference now that we have with mobile. You can look out at any audience, and there are people working on their mobile devices, like, yeah. So it's just too easy because there's always somebody, right, working on a mobile device. And she's immersed, and let me I don't want her to feel bad. What she was doing is she was tweeting, "Best speaker I have ever heard." Right here. So the mobile device is becoming like an outboard brain. And so psychologists have talked about the fact that this is now an outboard brain. That's the role it plays in our life. It's an outboard brain because it does three things. One, it stores memory for us. So you don't have to memorize phone numbers, birth dates, addresses, things like that anymore, right? It's all here. We have studies coming out that now show that younger people don't have the ability to memorize short, small bits of information as well as their elders because they don't have to. Everything's stored here. Second thing it does is it solves problems. Psychologists follow people around when they run into problems. They check how many times they use this device to solve the problem. It's a high amount. Third thing it does, it's access to information. We used to access all information here. Now we have some information here, lots of information here. And it's instantly available to us. So this is like an outboard brain. Now, the other thing is it's become incredibly addictive. And we haven't had them that long, but already we're very dependent on them, very addictive, especially if you have teenagers, right? If you have teenagers, you know what I mean. Right? I can tell you all kinds of stories about my life, but I have a daughter that has twice dropped her phone in the toilet, and when she does that, she acts as if she's been shot. It's like she screams and she cries and she has to have a new one, and she's 17. So we're addicted to it. But it isn't just young people, right? Because the entire beginning of my talk, right, she had not looked at me once. The longer I hold this, she will not let her eyes off me. Right? But I know if I hold it too long, you'll get shaky.